In the 90s, they kind of lost their fan base due to veering away from their original sounds of extreme aggression and Coma of Souls. But now they're back with the new album, Violent Revolution, sure to kick your ass and going back to those original sounds. Next up, you got it, from Germany.
I don't think, I think Bush is like the most redneck president that the United States ever had, you know. I mean, I cannot believe that that guy actually is the president of the United States. It's just, there must be something wrong with this. In my opinion, that cannot work. I mean, this guy has to go. In my opinion, the government is responsible to find different solutions, peaceful solutions, not war. I mean, I don't believe in war, man. I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in senseless violence like that. I don't know, maybe he's dangerous. I don't know. You know, the thing is, I have not the information that I need to have a real opinion on that.
Right.
You know, I mean, I know that the guy is a dictator, and I know that he's dangerous, and I know that people in his own country don't want him.
Right.
But,
it could be like a new Hitler.
But come on, yeah. But come on. I mean, it has to do with oil, man. Come on, we all know that. But you know, we're not a political band. We're not like, we don't want to, you know, preach up there or something. You know, it should just be. I mean, we have our views, and it's definitely not music, but that's not important. I think the music is the whole concept. You know, the whole aura around the band should be should make you forget about what's going on. You know, about all the shitty things that are going on in the world. Of course, I'm influenced by what's going on around me, and of course, I don't agree with everything that goes on in the world. You know, to me, it's all capitalism nowadays. You know, that's what I'm against capitalism. You know, if it's just about money, and money becomes all of a sudden the new religion for people, that sucks.
Have you ever noticed that metal seems to be the strongest when there's Republicans in office?
You think so?
Well, look at the '80s. There was, you know, Reagan and Bush, and that was when metal was at its strongest.
That's good.
And now there's a Republican again in office, and
metal's getting stronger.
It's coming back.
Good. I thought this whole Bay Area thing was hyped up, and now the Euro thing is hyped up anyway. If someone starts a band, he doesn't think, oh, I'm gonna be a part of this or that area or something, you know. It's just about the music, in my opinion. I think there's great records in Europe, and there's great records that came from the Bay Area. I don't, you know, in my opinion, I was never like that, you know. If I liked something, it could be from Rwanda, Burundi, you know. If it's good, it's good.
Talking about that sound that you were doing on your previous albums with the keyboards,
yeah.
Do you think you lost some fans? I mean, we know with Celtic Frost when they started doing that experimental stuff,
it did. I mean, you cannot compare that. Come on. I mean,
I know you can't compare, but I'm just thinking.
I think it's still Endorama and Outcast are still metal records, you know. But in my opinion, when I look at it now, it's maybe a little. There may be a little. Too far out there for some people, but I like them, you know. I thought the name Kreator stands for, you know, creation and being creative and do whatever you want.
This new album, Violent Revolution, seems to be an album, say, comparable to Extreme Aggression and Coma of Souls, that classic Kreator sound.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious decision to go?
Yeah, we've experimented enough, you know. After Endorama, I get fed up with all the keyboards and all that. And to me, that wasn't metal.
Right.
You know, it just didn't feel right.
Society failed to tolerate me, and I have failed to tolerate society.
In the beginning of the 90s, people were telling us the same thing. You know, oh, you won't survive the next 5 years, and we're still here. I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, I'm not into this for money reasons. I don't expect to get rich or something from this. You know, I have a lifestyle where I don't need that much, and I'm happy. As long as I'm happy, I continue doing this. You know,
Cool.
There's no reason for me to all of a sudden quit. Why? And the fans, you know, they expect us to write heavy stuff, so you know that's what we're here for.
Cool. It's killer attitude.
Yeah.
Metal.
The new live album out called Alive Again. Here's another hardcore thrash band from back in the thrash days. We had the fortunate opportunity to play a few shows with them down in Texas when we were touring with some other bands. Truly a thrash band. I listened to their music and it was like they were born in the Bay Area, but this band's coming to you from New York. They're working on some new material. They're going to do a new album, brand new material, and they're telling us that it's going to be just like what we used to hear and love. Take it away.
I always like to say that we reformed because, you know, the state of commercial metal's fucking awful again, and, you know, have to show them how it's done. But that's just arrogant, but
Yeah,
sometimes arrogance is okay.
I would put it more to the fact that people asked us to come back.
Where do you maybe get most of your lyrical inspirations as far
Right
as...
here. Yeah, honestly, it's just you read the papers, you keep abreast of current events, you find a topic, and if it's something you're passionate about, something will happen.
People will write a fast song about the downfall of Martha Stewart.
The whole Bush thing with his election, this is something that really kills me with the Democratic Party and the liberals in general. When they don't get their way through election, they go through the court system to try to get their way. Now, this is an instance where the legal system worked exactly the way it was supposed to, whether anybody approves of it, of how it went or not. The law was followed to the letter, and now the Democrats are freaking out because they didn't get their way in the election, and they didn't get their way in the court system. And so, you know, people refer to President Bush. It's like, well, I'm really sorry, he actually is the president. So right from the word go, he's going to run into a lot of resistance with his policies from the liberal left who, you know, I'm really sorry, acting like a bunch of petulant little children. He had the events of 9/11. I love how people put that. The events of 9/11, this massive terrorist attack that resulted in the murder of 3,000 New Yorkers. People like to call it the events of 9/11. I don't know, maybe because they can't bring themselves to say, hey, these Arab bastards just killed 3,000 Americans and changed the skyline of one of our cities. And, you know, that kind of pisses me off.
Where were you when that happened?
I was on a train heading into Manhattan to the World Trade Center.
And you, Danny?
I worked in Queens at the time, but that's only 15 miles from the World Trade Center. Luckily, me and my wife both worked in Queens, because had I just gone to work down the street and knew she was heading into the city and heard about that, because once that happened, they shut off New York. They closed all the bridges and tunnels. You couldn't, I mean, Manhattan is an island, you gotta remember that.
I spent a good part of the day trying to track down family members that worked in the neighborhood. You know, it was really fun watching people walking away covered with human bone and ash and the remains of all that stuff.
How many times have you visited Ground Zero since? Or?
I've never
I
visited Ground
walked
Zero.
across the street from it. I didn't have a choice. I visited every freaking day. You know, so I got to see the vultures standing around and watching a big hole in the ground and all the work and recovery, taking pictures and acting like a bunch of tourist jackasses in front of basically a mass cemetery. You know, so if I seem a little unsympathetic to the Democratic end of this country, or the liberal end of this country, because I really don't think they have a freaking clue.
That's great, because
I don't think he's going to argue with you. I'd like to thank everybody who's really psyched that we're back, because it really makes us feel good. Obviously, if Nuclear Assault came back and nobody gave a shit and we were playing in front of 10 people every night, then we'd be like, well, guess there was no point to
Maybe
this.
this isn't such a good idea after all.
But once they got a website going for it, saw all the hits we got on it, and people were just like really psyched that we were playing and active again with the original lineup. And it's like, great, you know, I mean, so we just want to express our appreciation in the utmost to everybody out there who supports the band and is coming out to see us again, and is just psyched that we're back again for the time being. Fucking metal.
Totally.
cool.
All right, I want to send a couple of songs out to Jerry Allen and the Tales from the Big Groove. Everyone on the Hell Room.